So this strategy will lead.
Oh no, not again.
Say, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working.
Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered.
This is professional.
Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power.
Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
As the sun rises over the city of Accra, its warm glow settles on one of the city's most thoughtfully planned communities, Lakeside Estate. And once again, something exceptional is unfolding. After the successful sale of our 4-bedroom Orca at Lakeside Hills, a new masterpiece is about to make its debut. An exquisite 4-bedroom story Orca home overlooking a breathtaking landscape of the Abri Mountains. This remarkable home now features a total floor area of 330 square meters, set on a generous 7,140 square foot plot.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time. Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Welcome to the program. The National Executive Committee of the New Patriotic Party is in a crunch meeting just hours after the Accra High Court convicted its Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Ntwi-Boasiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi. In an illegal mining case, the court found him guilty of assigning mineral rights without the required approval and intentionally facilitating illegal mining at the Samraboy concession. We'll break down the court's ruling shortly, but first, the party's National Executive Committee, as I mentioned earlier, is meeting to determine its next course of action according to a statement issued by its General Secretary, Justin Kodua-Frimpong, and here is what it says. It says that the party's legal team is currently in a meeting to thoroughly review the judgment delivered by the court in the case involving our Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Ntwi-Boasiako, concerning the Samraboy mining matter and to determine the appropriate next course of action. It continues to say that the NPP will communicate its official position and the decisions arising from these deliberations in due course. In the meantime, though, the General Secretary says he respectfully urges all members of the NPP to rally behind the leadership during this challenging moment. He calls on the party to remain calm, united, disciplined, and steadfast in their commitment to the values and interests of the NPP. And moments ago, the party has convened an emergency press conference, which is to happen at its national headquarters here in Accra at 3 p.m. We will definitely be there to bring you the fallout of that particular press conference. In the studio, though, is Fatal Bayaga, who was in court for us today. Also in the studio to break down the judgment for us is a legal affairs correspondent, Kweku Asante. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Fatal, let me begin with you. It was a very dramatic day in court today, I guess.
Absolutely, Ken. It was a very interesting legal battle in court, particularly Criminal Court 4 of the Accra High Court, presided over by Justice Audrey Kokovite. And in fact, the man in the middle of this whole, court issue, Wontumi himself, arrived in court a few minutes after 7, that early, prepared to, face the judge and the other people in court. And in fact, at just about 9:02 a.m., the case was called. And then Samuel Atachia, who is the lead counsel for this particular case, as you know, he wasn't in court because he, in a court letter that we cited, he said he's out of the jurisdiction. So Charles Boachi, was there to hold his brief as far as this particular case is concerned. And basically, Ken, he told the court that, in fact, they were there to move this particular motion, but because the lead counsel wasn't in court, today, they were praying to the court that they needed more time. And in fact, in that particular letter, and based on what he said in court, he said that their lead counsel will be back to the country, or he'll be back, on the 22nd of July. And for that reason, they were prepared to come back to court to move this motion a day after the 22nd of July, which will be Wednesday, right? And then when he said that, he also told the court that this particular motion particularly, they are seeking to get a deferment of the judgment because they are seeking some interpretations of sections of the Minerals and Mining Act, among other things. But so when he made that particular statement, and the trial judge Audrey Akufo-Addo basically said that Atachia, when he was in court, basically when the court adjourned the case to the 20th of July, he was in court, and then he never said anything. So the date was suitable and all of that. He'll be in court himself. So all of a sudden, bringing a letter to the court saying that he wouldn't be around is simply incompetent, and he dismissed that. And then on the issue of the interpretation of the provisions of the Minerals and Mining Act, the judge also said that if you look at the provisions, Article 1911 of the Minerals and Mining Act is clear. There's no need for any interpretation. So she, dismissed that as well, and then went ahead to read the judgment. In fact, the judgment took about more than an hour, reading, details about this whole thing. And then, he as part of the reading, he was now found guilty. Chairman Wontumi was found guilty as far as this particular charges were concerned. And then before she made the final judgment, Ken, I saw the lawyer for Chairman Wontumi, Charles Boachi, on his feet, and basically he said he wanted to seek a mitigation of this particular trial. So it means he wanted to in a way, was praying to the court to temper justice with mercy at this particular point. So when he made some explanations, Ken, he said that Chairman Wontumi is a family man, so the judge should temper justice with mercy. Apart from that, he also said Wontumi has been religiously coming to court. He cooperated, he respected the court and all of that, so the judge should consider him in this particular situation. And whilst he was making this particular point, Ken, the lawyer was simply nervous, right? And then one Bernard Oredu, who came in as a friend to the court, in a way was able to draw the attention of the judge, who then gave him the opportunity. And then in his arguments as well, he said that Wontumi has so many businesses, a lot of people are employed by Wontumi and all of that, and that if he is sentenced, maybe for many years, that could affect the businesses, because Wontumi himself, he is a critical person as far as these businesses are concerned, his ideas and all of that. So if he is out, then it means that, Ken, it would affect the general, operation of these businesses, right? But the judge, in her final judgment, she said that illegal mining is a very serious crime, right? Now, farmlands are being destroyed, among other things, and then went ahead to, make a final determination as far as this case is concerned.
We can now listen to that soundbite.
That yes, there are situations where the veil of incorporation could be lifted and directors could be held responsible. It is not in all situations that those things are applicable. So I'm sure it's an area his lawyers would have to look at and see if it will open up some areas of appeal for him. But I'm a bit worried and a bit sad.
20 years for an offense that the minimum is 15, maximum 25. The judge, I think, might have listened to your plea, don't you believe?
Probably she did, probably she did not. Because I was of the view that the minimum sentence was okay, because I made a point that getting Wontumi out of the picture, that is incarcerating him, may affect a lot of things, especially his businesses, the number of people he employs and all that. So that was the appeal I was making to the court, that yes, the court has come to the conclusion and convicted Mr. Wontumi for all the offenses. But in terms of the sentences, I mean, the court ought to consider his significance in society, especially the chain of businesses he owns. And I also made the point that currently we are struggling with a lot of youth employment. And if the court itself has established that Mr. Wontumi is the directing minds of all his businesses, it means it's very crucial to his businesses. So getting him away from his businesses in giving him such long sentence may negatively impact on the businesses and the young people who get jobs through his businesses and all that. They'll come onto the streets as unemployed, adding to the huge numbers who are already on the streets with no employment. So that was the appeal I made to the court, that the court should consider this particular circumstance of Mr. Wontumi and probably give him the barest minimum of sentence. That was what I did. I don't
argument that it should be as a deterrent sentence to persons, especially the fight against illegal
considering
mining.
the way
you see, I am not in any way encouraging anybody to go into illegal mining. And for me, the point I was making is that yes, Mr. Wontumi have committed the offense, but it was the bigger picture I was looking at, because he was going to be sentenced anyway. So my mitigation was to reduce the sentence. That's all. It's not to put in a defense for whatever he might have done or not. Exactly.
What is your relationship with Wontumi?
I thought he would have been given the barest minimum.
What is your relationship?
I don't know him from anywhere. Probably we just share a name. I'm Bernard. He's Bernard. I have no relationship with Mr. Wontumi. Maybe because he's my namesake. But I only felt that as a lawyer, these things happen. It's not because it's Mr. Wontumi. There are times when you are in court and you feel like you need to probably intervene as a friend of the court. That is something we do out of ordinary practice. It is not because it was Mr. Wontumi. We have done this several times where we believe that we need to add our voice in mitigation. Remember, it is not against the conviction. It was just to intervene with the number of years he was going to be given. So it was against the sentencing that we were trying to mitigate, that the court should give him the barest minimum. It was not against his conviction. So it is not as if I did that to probably encourage illegal mining. No. It was just for the courts to understand that Mr. Wontumi is just not like you and myself. He owns a lot of businesses. So the court, I don't know if she considered that, but well, I'm sure his lawyers would advise him accordingly.
That's Bernard Oredu there. He's a lawyer and also describes himself as a friend to the court, who was at the court earlier today. As I mentioned earlier, Kweku Asante with our legal affairs desk is also joining me in the studio to run us through some of the details of this particular sentence. And Kweku, we know that there were multiple charges against Chairman Wontumi. Yeah. What were they? And how long did this case travel?
So 6 counts. This trial has gone pretty fast because as of October last year, the trial had just begun. Right. And by the end of July, and this is 20th July, the judgment has already been given and Chairman Wontumi's sentence has been handed down. 6 counts involving 3 people. So if you divide the counts by them, you look at the charge sheet, they all had 2 counts each. Chairman Wontumi, another director who has been on the run, and then Accra Mining Limited as the corporate entity that owned that concession, strictly speaking. So those are the 6 counts that were put against Chairman Wontumi. If you look at it in terms of Chairman Wontumi and what is count 1, having to do with Chairman Wontumi himself, assignment of mineral rights without approval. That is to say that Chairman Wontumi and his company had the right to mine on the certain land and purported or proceeded to assign it to another group of persons without the authorization, the written authorization of the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources as mandated by the Minerals Act. The count 2, having related to Kwame Ntwi, is the same thing, assignment of mineral rights without approval. Count 3, Accra Mining Limited, the same offense. And then count 4, 5, and 6 has to do with the purposely facilitating illegal mining allegation. And so all the 3 accused persons, Kwame Ntwi, Chairman Wontumi, and Accra Mining Company Limited, had 2 different counts having to do with the same facts. Either they were facilitating illegal mining or they were leasing or giving authorization for mining to happen, but they did not have the authorization or the written permission of the Lands and Natural Resources Minister to do so. At the end of the day, Justice Audrey Kokuvite found them guilty on all the counts and proceeded to convict them, and then has since now passed a sentence of 20 years for Chairman Wontumi and Akonta Mining Limited. Obviously, Akonta Mining Limited is a corporate body. It has no capacity to serve a prison sentence. So the proprietor and the corporate veil has been pierced to say that Chairman Wontumi obviously had a role in leading what we have seen, for which reason he's going to spend the next 20 years, as well as paying fines to the tune of about 600,000 cedis. We're to see the full judgment to be able to distill some of the fines that Justice Audrey Kokuvite handed out.
Let's look at appeal. That's a possibility, and of course already his lawyers have hinted of doing that. What are his chances of appealing this case?
I mean, if you look at everything that we've seen so far, one of the things that you can be sure banker that is going to happen is an appeal. I'm sure by now the lawyers are already working on the formulation of the grounds of appeal and working on the processes. By law, they have 30 days from today to file an appeal. If they miss the 30 days, they can also apply for an extension for another 30 days, after which they will not do so. So, generally speaking, Chairman Wontumi has about 2 months to confer with his lawyers and decide on the grounds of appeal. We know that Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers contend on 3 main grounds. First is that the state did not meet the elements of the case. They did not discharge the burden that is placed on them. And that is why they made a submission of no case. It was overruled. They went up to the court. They were rejected. And then they make a second case, this time by Samuel Atachia, that if you look at the Minerals and Mining Act and the various provisions that criminalizes the conduct of Chairman Wontumi, they are overbroad, they are vague, for which reason they wanted the Supreme Court to have a bite at it and made an appeal to the court to actually listen to their motion on that. But as we know, the lawyer was not in court today to move the motion, so it was moot. It was not before the court. The court could not take cognizance of that, and so that has also moved on. And all of the things that these lawyers have said. In fact, one of the reasons why Andy Appiah could be walked away is that the judge's conduct did not give him any belief that his client was going to get justice. So those are some of the 3 grounds generally that we've heard Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers canvass, that they do not believe that Chairman Wontumi has been treated fairly. So there are few things that are sure that Chairman Wontumi is going to file an appeal. Perhaps as soon as he files an appeal, they may apply for bail pending appeal being heard and all of that. We'll see what the High Court itself will do at the start, because that is where the process will start, going back to the Court of Appeal and perhaps to the Supreme Court.
Kweku Asante is our legal affairs correspondent. Thank you very much, Kweku. Let's go on to Zoom right now and speak to Awula Sewa. She is with Eco-Conscious Citizen. Erastus Asare-Donko is also a journalist with the Multimedia Group. It was through his works that all this came to bear. Let me begin with you, Awula Sewa. I want to pick your initial reaction to the sentencing of Chairman Wontumi for his involvement in Galamsey for 20 years.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. First of all, I want to commend my brother Erastus Asare-Donko for his commitment and dedication. Persistence. We want to commend him. But I want to say that I am pleased at the outcome. I'm pleased that Chairman Wontumi has been convicted. I'm pleased that all those who spoke out against the vandalism going on have been vindicated. So I think this is a step in the right direction. And we hope that other prosecutions are going to take place, because Chairman Wontumi is not the only high flyer engaged in destroying our environment and polluting our water bodies.
Right, that's quite an interesting one. Awula, so we understand that the New Patriotic Party is convening a meeting at 3 p.m. This afternoon. We do not have the details yet, but many are suggesting that they're going to back the Ashanti Regional Chairman. Let's look at the hypothetical case that is what happens. Do you think it risks our fight against illegal mining, where we have a political party openly backing their regional chairman, even though he's been found guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction?
Well, what I would say is that this shouldn't in any way undermine the fight if we are serious. Our legal system allows for appeals. So Chairman Wontumi's legal team, they are welcome to appeal right up to the Supreme Court, where the decision will be final. But I would say that any patriotic Ghanaian who realizes that we face an existential threat, that we are being poisoned, water is life. And it's very disappointing that when these points were raised, I remember the Catholic Bishops' Conference raised the point, and the then President sought to exonerate Chairman Wontumi. I think it's time we are all thinking of Ghana, putting Ghana first, and thinking of protecting Ghana. So I'm not at all concerned. The NPP is free to have as many meetings as they want to have. If they want to back somebody who the court has found guilty of destroying our forest reserves and poisoning our water bodies, so be it.
Awula Sewa is with eco-conscious citizens. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Awula. And as I mentioned earlier, the NPP is convening an emergency press conference at 3 p.m. this afternoon. We do not know the details of that particular press conference, but they say it is of national concern. We will be there live at the headquarters of the opposition NPP to bring you every detail of that particular press conference. Let's speak to Erastus Asare-Donko, who is my colleague. He risked his life in the forest for years, exposing the devastating impact of illegal mining and the distraction taking place there in Samraboy. He joins me on Zoom, as I mentioned earlier. Erastus, welcome to the program. What do you make of this conviction? Happy?
Well, it's not about being happy for the incarceration of or the taking of freedom of somebody, but it's about the rule of law taking its course. And we have trumpeted this, the pollution of the Tano River by entities including Akonta Mining for years, since 2021, late 2021, down to today. We've done a number of reports. We've done a major documentary on it and highlighting his company's role in the pollution of the Tano River and also the invasion of the Tano Nimre Forest Reserve. Remember, we did some reports, and all of them are captured in a documentary, Distraction for Gold, where some of the Chinese nationals or miners who were mining along the Tano River, when we approached them and asked of their licenses, they referred us to Akonta Mining Limited, and that's captured on video. And so it tells you that in some cases, some of these things were possible, and we kept highlighting them. Did the government pay heed to us? No. Back then, we had no response from government on the way forward. Perhaps the various agencies should have moved in back then to stop the mining, put in some punitive measures, take his license, or revoke his license for that matter, and all that. But nothing happened. And it continued until the party left power, before a new government decided to take over the investigations and even go ahead to arrest him. I must say that there are equally other people who have done series of harm to our environment. We can talk about the Pamprama Forest Reserve. We had Heritage Imperial Limited, who mined there from 2018 without any license. And continued to mine until finally they got their license somewhere in 2020. We have that, and the forest has been decimated. We are going to use taxpayers' money to reclaim that land. So I think that there's a long way to go concerning the list of people who have done extreme harm or committed nature crimes to this country, who need to answer for this before we can clamp down on the impunity that is going on.
Well, President John Mahama not long ago said that his own people, meaning his own party members in the NDC, are engaged in galamsey. In 2023, then President Akufo-Addo stated categorically that Akonta Mining was not engaged in illegal mining of any course. Let's look at the political twist to this. Do you feel that as an environmental journalist, your work wouldn't have been noticed, or this judgment wouldn't have happened if there wasn't a change of government?
Certainly so. I don't even need to say it, but that is what happened. Because we brought the evidence, drone footage, ground footage, eyewitness accounts, and all that. And we've been consistent. From late 2021, we did series of reports, and all of them are online with evidence. In fact, we spoke to a number of people who lost their cocoa farms to Akonta Mining's operations in Samraboy. And until date, they have not been reimbursed. They are still in court. So it's not like there was no evidence. There was the evidence there. If the police or the National CID were so interested in prosecuting, they could have gone down to Samreboy to do further investigation and be able to do a proper work to aid prosecution, but they didn't. They were rather asking me to bring evidence that shows that he's the one who was mining there. And I said, well, I'm a journalist, I've done my part. You are clothed with all the powers, the investigative powers. You have the resources to go down there and do your further checks, but they didn't. And so you see how it was treated, thrown under the carpet. The president comes on stage, says the guy is not mining illegally anywhere, and then end of case, down, and he continues to mine along that river from Aboifi all along the tunnel. They were mining into the tunnel in the forest. They were mining to the extent that it created a whole violent activity where some people got hurt because their boys came in there to fire guns and all that. So the evidence was sitting there staring at us, just like the evidence is also sitting there in the case of the Pamprama Forest Reserve, the Upper Wasa Forest Reserve, in other areas, the Tananya, those who invaded it, the evidence is there. Certainly, people are not interested in prosecuting. And that is what we should be looking at if we are to go forward positively on this tangent.
This is not the only high-profile illegal mining activity you have investigated. You've done a number of them. But do you think that this conviction and sentencing of Chairman Wontumi will motivate the rest of the investigation that you've done, will motivate the courts and our law enforcement agencies to pass the necessary judgment on them?
Well, we continue to do our work as the fourth estate of the realm. We have the backing of management, the multimedia group. Recently, we were able to put the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve under the spotlight with the help of Reporters Without Borders. We've been able to put a documentary together, putting into proper perspective how much of that forest has been destroyed, who engaged in it, and everything. The evidence is there. We will continue to do our job. It behoves on the authorities to go the extra mile, to apply the law as it is. Let us get some deterrence. If it doesn't happen, we will continue to push for voices to rise and to talk and to engage in their civic responsibilities to ensure that government does the right thing. In fact, that is the only thing that will help us continue to protect our biodiversity, which is linked to our existence here in this blue space part of Ghana.
Erastus Udongoyet. Also joining this conversation is Professor Bafo Ajimandua. He is a governance expert. Professor Ajimandua, welcome to the program. Some are hailing this ruling as a victory for good governance, while others are already arguing that it should compel the current government to apply the same standards to its own members who have been accused of involvement in illegal mining. Are they right to make that call? Kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you.
Yes, certainly. They are very right. For many years now, this issue of Galamsey has engaged the interest and the attention of all people in the country, because Galamsey is being mined all over the country. And the implications of this for the future of this country have been well known. But for years, we haven't had any serious conviction of people who are known publicly to be engaging in this illegal activity. So the decision of the court, and I believe strongly that this case went through the normal procedures and processes of the court, and therefore the administration of justice, I'm sure, has been done the way the law expects it to be done. So the conviction certainly is legitimate. And if in fact this has happened, and we know of many other kingpins in this particular activity, then I think it is important for government, the agencies responsible for prosecuting such people, to make sure all those who have been identified in the many reports of Mr. Erastus Donko and others to begin to really bring these people to court, because this should not end there. And if in fact it happens that only Wontumi coming from the other political party is the one to be convicted, then of course people will have all kinds of reasons to raise questions whether this is a political kind of movement. But it's not political. I think this has followed the normal procedures that we all expect.
Well, the party that Wontumi belongs to, the NPP, is convening an emergency press conference in a matter of minutes from now. Would you be surprised if the NPP as a party throws its support behind Wontumi?
I will not be surprised in the least. This has been the conduct of all these political parties, both NPP and NEC, over the years. When a political figure from one of the parties is caught by the law, the other side will come in and throw their, throw their support behind their own people. And that has been one of serious downsides.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to Home Tips with Mira, where we learn about home tips, DIYs, and home remedies. Well, today we are going to talk about a certain kind of vegetable, or would you call it a fruit? I'm talking about squash, or would you say it's a pumpkin? Well, today I'm going to show you a simple recipe that you can do with this vegetable. The simple recipe that I'm sharing with you is how to use your squash for a drink. Yes, some yummy, delicious, creamy drink. I'm going to cut the squash, remove the seeds, and then dice it into pieces. And I'll add carrots to it and 3 pieces of date.
Dramatize its interest in this case by also bringing to court all those who have been identified as NDC members who are also engaging the same thing. Otherwise, the politicians will have a field day characterizing this event today as a political event. But it's not. I believe it's not.
Well, in 2023, then President Akufo-Addo exonerated Akunta mining of any wrongdoing when it comes to illegal mining. I asked Erastus Donko this same question. I asked him if there was not any change of government, this ruling wouldn't have happened. He said yes, categorically. Do you share any sentiment that due to the political connotations around illegal mining activities in this country, truly, if there wasn't a change of government, we wouldn't have seen this conviction?
I will share that same sentiment as Donko has expressed. Yes, if there had been no change of government, this gentleman will be going about his business, okay? And that is a tragedy of our politics today, that the political parties shield their own people who are blatantly infringing the laws of the land, but are quick to condemn and prosecute those who are not doing the same but not in their political party. So I think that nature we have here must change. It must change. It's sad that a president who is not part of the bench of the judiciary can even pronounce somebody not being guilty of committing a crime. It is the job of the judiciary to do that. So this is what tends to color even criminal cases with politics. And in the end, these cases kind of fizzle out. So I think our political leaders and the parties in particular should begin to reset their attitudes, their minds towards these kinds of things. Otherwise, as a country, we cannot go too far with this kind of politics that we have for ourselves. So I think as Donko is very right. And I believe strongly, if there had been no change in government, I don't believe this case will have traveled this far.
Professor Ajimandria, don't go yet. Also joining the conversation is the Deputy Director of IT and Elections of the NDC, Rashid Tanko Computer. Mr. Computer, welcome to the program. First of all, what do you make of the sentencing of Chairman Wontumi to 20 years in prison?
Well, let me say good afternoon to you and your cherished viewers across the group. I must say justice has been served to the good people of the environment which has been destroyed and whose children are now suffering from birth defects. Kidneys have now been destroyed because of the activities of Akonta Mine and its affiliates. I mean, all these things, people are not looking at that. Go to the environment, the communities where they were operating, and you see that children are now being born with one eye. Some are born with few fingers. Some are born without legs. All these birth defects is as a result of the heavy metal that they are using in doing this. They are illegal. So people are talking about 20 years, but they are not looking at the effect of the dangers they have caused into this community. But justice has been served. In fact, we were expecting, in fact, to me, I was expecting about 25. You should have taken the 25. That is the law. The law is very clear. From 15 to 25. The minimum is 15 and the maximum is 25. The judge was lenient to have given him the 20 years.
So
why are we doing this to ourselves?
So you think the 20 years is not even enough? He should have been given 25, you say?
Looking at the content, the magnitude of damage caused to these communities, just because of somebody's parochial interest. People are, look, do you know that some have died because of their parochial interest? We are joking with people's lives here. This will serve as deterrence to others who think that they can get away with this just because of your own parochial interest, just because you want to be rich, super rich in the country, others must suffer it. No, that's not why the state is. The state is here to protect everybody. So if you have crooks like that, the state must make sure that they are dealt with, then others will learn lessons from it.
Okay. Rashid Tanko, computer, hold on for me. Also joining this conversation is Andy Apiakubi. He's the former lawyer of Chairman Wontumi in this case. If viewers would recall, he recused himself before the final judgment was passed. Mr. Apiakubi, welcome to the program. Did you see this coming? The more reason why you recused yourself days before the judgment was passed?
Well, first and foremost, let me correct my good friend who just spoke to you. He alleges that Chairman Wontumi has been prosecuted for illegal mining.
Mr. Apiakubi, can you kindly speak up for me?
I'm saying that let me attempt to correct the guy, my good friend who just spoke to you. And I'm saying that he is alleging that Chairman Wontumi has been prosecuted for illegal mining. That is incorrect. The charges against Chairman Wontumi are not in any way close to illegal mining or related offenses. No. The charges are two, practically. First one is that he is accused of having assigned his interest in a mining lease to another person without authorization from the minister, number one. Let me explain that offense. If you have interest in the mining concession, and the mining concession, the interest is evidenced by execution of a conveyance, transferring the interest to you. So you have it. If you decide to transfer that interest to another person, you need the minister's concurrence. Now, in Ghana, transfer of interest in land as per assignment is by execution of a document called an assignment that would evidence the transfer of that interest to another person. The law is not saying that if it is unlawful to transfer the interest to another person. What makes it unlawful is if you don't seek the concurrence of the minister. And that is the offense that you commit if you do it without that concurrence. Number two, he is being charged of facilitating the provision of mining support services on a concession. And the law is that it is not wrong or unlawful or criminal for one to offer mining support services to a mining interest on a concession. It is not, there's no offense in that. But before you do that, you need to go to the minister to apply for license, and such license ought to be approved before you can go and offer such mining support services to the mining institution on that land. So having explained the law to you, there is nowhere that Chairman Wontumi has been accused of mining in this Samnabwe case. And his charges are having transferred the interest and having facilitated the mining support services. So let's take the first one. And as I explained to you, for a transfer of an assignment in land or any interest in land, the law requires that there must be a conveyance carrying that intent and in respect of that interest, and showing how you are transferring that interest to the next person. And that is the allegation against him, that he has done that, but he has not sought the permission of the minister. And our defense is that he has not done what is referred to as assignment ever. Because you can't claim to have assigned any interest in land to a third party if you have not conveyed that in a conveyance as per Section 34 of the Lands Act authorization from a minister. So we are saying that offense or that allegation or that charge cannot stand because he has not done that. So there is this explanation. And if he has not done that, the prosecutor will have to prove that he has done that. And indeed, when we came to court, we made an application to the court for a motion for them to submit to us copies of the alleged assignment documents indicating that assignment. And also there was an allegation that there were offensive weapons and offensive weapons on site also. Mm-hmm. So in the application, we asked the court to compel the Attorney General to provide us with indication of ownership of those weapons in their custody. And believe me, every ammunition that you hold as a citizen is covered by a license. And that license shows who owns it. And our request was dismissed. I'm not saying it was struck out. It was dismissed by the court. When we wanted disclosure on the assignment and ownership of equipment, the judge dismissed the application. So if the judge dismissed the application, it means we couldn't have gotten those facts in the case. And therefore, the presumption is that if we cannot have that disclosures, then it does not exist. And if it does not exist, then no offense will have been committed upon failure of provision of such evidence. So we go to the second leg of the charges, facilitating mining support services on concessions. First and foremost, it is the responsibility of the person going to offer the mining support services to apply for certification. It is nobody's obligation to apply on behalf of a service provider. And therefore, if at all somebody claims to have provided mining support services, the onus is rather on him to go for the license to be able to provide that service. It is not even on the miner, assuming there is even a miner on site. the obligation is not on the miner to provide a license or apply for license on your behalf. The law says that you, the service provider, will have to apply for a license, which license will have to be approved or otherwise by the minister. And Wontumi and his company is charged with facilitating that without a license from the minister. So we are saying that Wontumi has facilitated that. All that Wontumi has done has been to engage PW2 to go and reclaim the land that had been created by illegal mining. And when he has done that, let's plant coconut on the land so that when the coconut bears fruit, we will harvest and share the proceeds of our farming interest. This is all. And this PW2 comes to court to say that in his witness statement, apart from the agreement to reclaim the land and plant coconut, he also told me to mine on the land, which I have done. Then prosecution brings two first witnesses, P1 and P2, to testify in support of their case. And P1 says that I don't know Chairman Wontumi from anywhere. I have never seen him or met him except seeing him on TV.
Hello, Mr. Apiakubi, do I have you?
Are you listening to me?
I am, attentively.
Okay, good. Number two, he says that I have been engaged by PW2 to come to the site to work for me. That is PW2. Number three, he says all the equipment that we use, including the ammunition that we use on site, they all belong to PW2. Number four, he says that the gold that we have extracted from the site, we have always given it to PW2, the owner of the gold that we harvest. Have you ever seen Chairman Wontumi and PW2 engage in an employment contract? No. Did you witness the discussion between Chairman Wontumi and PW2 in respect of the assignment or work to be done on the concession? The answer is no. So, according to him, PW1, he cannot confirm whether or not Chairman Wontumi and PW2 agreed to do anything at all. Now, we go to PW2. He comes to court to admit that he has engaged PW1 to do the work as was done, and that he understood PW1 and he understood first accused person, Chairman Wontumi, and third accused person, Akufo-Addo Mines, as one and the same. And that Chairman Wontumi gave him instructions to go and cover the mine area and plant coconut and also mine. That is his own evidence. Meanwhile, in his own caution statement, he had said that he did not receive any such instructions from Chairman Wontumi and he did not mine. That is the same person who has brought a witness statement suggesting that Chairman Wontumi instructed him to do mining. Now, based on this, and also that he is the owner of all the gold that has been mined from there, and indeed confessed that he has mined. And so under cross-examination, we asked him whether he had accounted to Chairman Wontumi in respect of all the gold mined on site. The answer is no. I see under obligation, under any arrangement, to account to Chairman Wontumi, his answer is no. But he claims ownership of anything that has come from the mining on that site. This is, in a nutshell, the evidence before the court. And he agrees with prosecution to testify against Chairman Wontumi in a plea bargaining arrangement. And therefore, he becomes a prosecution witness instead of an accused person. So the beneficiary of the whole enterprise, as he claims and as he defined, is in PW2.
Okay.
Nevertheless, the liability of the alleged crime stays with Chairman Wontumi alone. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the two other witnesses who came to testify in support of the prosecution are institutional persons. They are giving us what the law says. Let's try to explain the law to us.
Mr. Appiah-Kubi, your voice is going down again. If it can come a bit
what
higher.
What I'm saying is that the two other witnesses who came were only from institutions in the mining industry, telling us what is to be done by licensed miners and licensed service providers without more. So the evidence does not really affect whether or not some irregularity occurred in respect of Samnaboy and in respect of the accused person. So we let that go. Now, we filed a submission of no case because we thought that the prosecution had not been able to establish the elements of the crimes they alleged was committed by the accused persons beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay.
So, as a prima facie.
Okay. Mr. Appiah-Kubi, kindly hold on for me. I'll come back to you. I'll give you all the time, but let me remind our viewers that we still have Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah on the line. He's a governance expert. We have Erastus Asare-Donkor, who is an environmental journalist. Rashid Tanko, Director of IT and Elections with the governing NDC. They are all joining the conversation now. But as we speak right now, Andy Appiah-Kubi used to be the lawyer for Chairman Wontumi in this case until he recused himself a few days to the judgment. And he's the one we're currently engaging. Mr. Appiah-Kubi, kindly go on with what you're saying.
I am saying that this is the evidence, and we filed a submission with no case. And you have mentioned people who are waiting to also contribute to this discussion. But let me just reiterate what is before us. There is no charge against Chairman Wontumi as engaged in illegal mining.
Right.
There is no such charge.
Mr. Appiah-Kubi, let's look at count 4. It says that purposely facilitating unlicensed mining. Is that not illegal mining?
Purposely facilitating
unlicensed mining. What does that mean?
Speak to mining. Facilitation is what I refer to as providing a service to a miner. Facilitating doesn't mean the action of doing it. No. Facilitating somebody to do it doesn't mean he himself has done mining. And in any case, the law as we have it in the Minerals and Mining Act talks about facilitation.
Okay.
It gives a definition to facilitation. And it refers to providers of support services to miners. So you cannot discuss or define the word facilitation as applied to minerals and mining law outside the law, because the law itself gives a definition to facilitation.
Okay.
So when you situate the charges within the law as we are discussing, then nobody is accusing Chairman Wontumi of having engaged in illegal mining. One of assignment and one of facilitation.
Okay.
So what we said is that after the close of the prosecution's case, we filed a submission of no case. Indeed, our expectation was for the judge to have looked through the submissions and pronounce on the various elements of the charges. The court just dismissed the application and asked us to open a defense. So we filed an appeal against that decision. The appeal was filed in the early part of March this year. And as I speak to you, records have not been transmitted to even the Court of Appeal. What kind of justice system is that?
Okay.
Meanwhile, I have personally gone to the registrar many times to find about the fate of our appeal. And as I speak to you, the records have also not been settled, even as I speak to you today. The reason the registrar gives is that she cannot have access to the file to be able to compile the records. And we are in a system that necessarily will not allow that to happen. But we have had to wait, and we are still waiting. Now the judgment has come. One will say that, so what happens to the appeal against the submission of case?
Okay.
Is this a fair system? If the court wants to be fair, is it the case that the court wants to apply speed?
All right, Andy Apiakubi, I have a number of questions to ask you about a possible appeal and also the reason why you recused yourself as the counsel for Chairman Wontumi on this case. I'll come back to you, don't go yet. But in the meantime, let me go back to Rashid Tanko Computer. He's the Deputy Director of IT and Elections with the NDC. Mr. Tanko Computer, the former lawyer for Chairman Wontumi on this particular case begs to differ all the points that you were making. Please make your case. Do you agree with him?
Respectfully, I disagree with Senior. Look, I respect his position. I totally disagree. He knows what we are talking about. All these issues Senior Apiakubi has just enumerated. He advanced those cases before he chickened out from the matter. He left. He recused himself from the matter and said he was not going to pursue that issue again. He has advanced all this matter. The judge took into consideration all the issues that he mentioned. Look, Wontumi in the case did mention that he gave them the license to go and do reclamation. Is he the one in charge of reclaiming the land? That was an afterthought. That's why they made him to understand. Because when he got to realize that the guys that he gave the license to were destroying the environment, which the effect was far outweigh even the benefit of what he Wontumi was getting to himself. People were dying. Now go to those communities and see. Cancer is rampant. Kidney failure. Birth defects. These are the issues we are talking of. If we hadn't given them the license, would they have gone to destroy the forest as they are trying to run away from? They cannot absorb it. And so we are saying that, look, justice has been served to the good people in those communities and the country at large. And it is serving as a deterrent to those who are involved. In fact, the state is still coming up after others who are equally involved in destroying the environment.
Who are they? Can you give us a heads up?
No, of course, those doing the Galamsey, the state is still chasing. Haven't you seen that they are arresting people left and right and destroying excavators?
Are there politically exposed persons involved?
That is why I'm saying that the state is, that's why NIMOS is working.
Okay.
And so if you find out from NIMOS, and they will tell you what they have done so far. They are still chasing people all over the place.
Right.
And I'm told, look, Wontumi, this is not the end of his case. There are other cases too, which are also just around the corner. What are they doing all these things to the state?
Right. On this,
and so we have to take a second look at this thing. We are saying that, look, he had his day in court. He went through the full length of the case. The trial judge went through the matter, and justice has been delivered today. Others will learn lessons from this.
Okay.
You can't destroy the environment just to profit for yourself. We won't allow that as a state. I'm grateful.
On the 17th of March this year, President John Mahama met with organized labor, and the president admitted categorically that he does have the belief that members within his party are involved in galamsey. I'm going to read the quote of exactly what President Mahama said on the 17th of March 2026. He said that illegal mining has eaten into the fabric of our society, and I must say that it is not only a menace to our society, but it has involved a circle of traditional rulers, political party appointees, and everything. And so I don't kid myself that we don't have our own people involved. Many are wondering if the president has even admitted that his own people within his own party are involved. Why are they not being named and shamed and being prosecuted? Because as we speak right now, the NPP is of the opinion that this is a political persecution. They are only prosecuting people believed to be affiliated with NPP and believed to be involved in galamsey, when there are individuals who are also believed to be involved in galamsey on the NDC side.
When Wontumi was displaying gold bars and telling the whole world how rich he was and that he could even buy Chelsea at that time, that one, they didn't see anything wrong with that. They were not seeing anything wrong with that. What is political about this? You see, that's how I'm saying that we behave hypocritical as a state sometimes. Look, the gentleman was all over the place, misbehaving and telling the whole world how rich he was and displaying gold bars, not knowing that this was what they were doing. Go to the forest cover area where they were operating and see the distraction. You wait for the people over there. When you want to deal with matters of this, then they bring in politics. What is politics about this? It has nothing to do with politics. It's about you and I, our life. Look, most of the foodstuffs that we have in Accra here, it comes from this hinterland. Do you know the mercury and other hard metals that they use in doing this galamsey mining? It finds its way to our food in our table. And you and I, every day we are going to hospital. That's why Kwalebu is always choked. Because you don't understand yourself, the food you are eating. Government is trying to stop all these things, and then people will come and say politics, politics, politics. So because of politics, we should fold our arms. And because politicians are involved in this, they should fold its arms and leave them to continue destroying it. You are not a politician, you are a media man, but you go to the restaurant to eat food. You go and eat metallic food and other things over there, and you end up in the hospital. You have kidney failure and all that. You will be put on dialysis day in, day out. Who caused it? These are the issues we are talking about.
Okay.
The state will fight the illegal mining. The president will not rest on this matter. He will make sure that we will arrest them, let the judiciary do their work. If the judiciary don't find anybody guilty, you can go home and rest. Okay. But if they find you guilty, they will deal with you.
Right. Rashid Tanko Computer, don't go yet. Let me bring you this clip from 2023 when then President Akufo-Addo exonerated Akunta Mining of illegal mining activities. He said that Akunta Mining was not involved in galamsey in 2023. Listen.
Take my seat. Let me respond briefly to the chairperson on the issue of illegal mining. I want to assure him and all of you that Akunta Mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has, through the agency of the Forestry Commission, with the assistance of the military, made the effort to cordon off all 294 sites of forest reserves in the country and of illegal mining as we speak. We will continue to work to ensure that this situation remains permanent. This government is determined to win the fight against galamsey, no matter the cost in effort.
That there is former President Akufo-Addo there. And Rashid Tanko Computer, as I quoted what President John Mahama said in March, and juxtaposing it to what President Akufo-Addo said in 2023, there are differences, but the concern really is that this has taken a political connotation, because President John Mahama has admitted that most of, or some of his own members in the NDC, he believes, are involved in Galamsey. And this was a former President Akufo-Addo saying that Akonta mining, which has now been found to have been involved in illegal mining, saying that then Akonta mining was not involved in illegal mining. So then it begs the question that, are politicians protecting their own? Because we're having a president who is stating categorically that his party are involved in Galamsey, and then we had a former president who said otherwise. Do you think that John Mahama is protecting the persons he says believe are involved in Galamsey within his administration and his own party? Unfortunately, we've lost Rashid Tanko Computer on the line there, but I still have Andy Appiah-Kubi and Professor Bafo Ajemanjia with me. Do we have Andy Appiah-Kubi on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Right. Thank you very much for holding on the line, Council.
Let me correct some misconceptions first.
Right.
These guys who are talking, are they lawyers? I don't think so. Because they are taking the issues out of the court.
Okay.
And all of them propagating new issues, new evidence. And we are talking about the charges of assignment and facilitation. We are not saying that Wontumi is facing the charges of illegal mining. So all that they purport to bring them into this discussion, I consider them as red herring.
Okay.
Not relevant to our present discussion. So let's stay focused on the issues before the court.
Right.
And the charges. And in the case of Court 4, in the case of the mining site, Samnabwe, there could be 1 million cases concerning Chemawutu. But the one for discussion this afternoon is the Samnabwe case and the charges in respect of Samnabwe case. So anybody who goes outside to talk about the general politics of illegal mining is beating about the bush. And that is why I ask of their competence in the understanding of the case in court. Okay. And their competence in appreciating the elements of the charges before the court. So let's stay focused on the Samnabwe case in front of the Court 4 and the charges in respect of the Samnabwe case, and not do anything beyond that. And if we want to do that, then what we are saying is that we have filed a submission of no case that has been dismissed. We have appealed against it. The appeal is still waiting, and that is why you can say that the accused person is being denied justice. The appeal is still waiting 4 months down the line. Now we have gone to pass judgment. The judgment passed today makes the appeal before the Court of Appeal moot, because either way, it is unnecessary. It cannot affect the judgment. So it means that the remedy available to the accused person is an appeal to the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
But again, are we going to sit and wait for another 4 months before records are put together for the Court of Appeal to take action on it?
Okay.
That's another issue of denying him justice. Now, after the submission of no case was dismissed, we filed the appeal. After the appeal, we opened our defense. The opening of defense at that time did not connote our admission of any prima facie matter hasn't been proved. No. But under the law and in procedure, when the case has not been stayed then the judge can continue with the prosecution. And at that time, we had to open our defense so that the court will not return a verdict of no defense, in which case the court would give a judgment based on the prosecution's evidence only. We wanted to avoid that situation, so we opened our defense. And in our defense, the accused person denied any such wrongdoing, and even denied having given instructions for him, PW2, to go and do some mining. Denied it. So the denial of PW2 coming face to face with the admission of PW2 to have done mining, and in the light of a court's statement that denies or that runs contrary to the witness statement, the benefit of the doubt ought to have annulled to the accused person, not to prosecution. And I'm saying this on authority, that if there is any confusion in the mind of the court at that point, that one says I did it, one says I didn't do it, the benefit, unless there's corroboration to support one side of the argument. But again, the other side of the argument, which is the accused person's defense, there was corroboration from P2, P1, in the case that accused person did not do what it is being claimed, alleged that he did. So if you look at the veracity of the evidence at all, you will be safely concluding that the corroborated story of the defense could overturn the uncorroborated story of the prosecution. Nevertheless, give that benefit to the accused person.
Okay.
And rather, on the basis of this uncorroborated story.
Mr. Apiakubi, kindly hold on for me. I'll come back to you. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah, who's a governance expert there. But also joining the conversation right now is Edem Senanu, who's an anti-corruption crusader. Edem, welcome to the program. What does the sentencing of Chairman Wontumi to 20 years in prison mean for our fight against corruption and illegal mining?
I think it sets a very important precedent. I remember 5-6 years ago when I and Martin Kwebu went to the CID headquarters to find out what was being done about the investigations, and they said nobody has reported, so we had done nothing. It was 2 months after.
You would have to speak up for me, Edem.
Can you hear me?
Much better. Hi, Edem, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I said it sets a very important precedent for our anti-corruption terrain. 20 years is substantive. It begins to send a message that you can't get away with actions like this. And I think that it's a good sign for all of us. It's something we've pursued for some of us probably 5-6 years. From the time Martin and I went to the police headquarters to file a report on behalf of the people of this country that these things must be investigated. So we are delighted that we've come full circle and there is a sentence that is clear, is very clear.
Right. Edem, don't go yet. Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah is still with me. There's been varied opinions about the number of years that have been given to Chairman Wontumi, 20 years. Well, there are those who are saying that it's deterrent enough. Others are saying that the judge was actually very lenient with them. Of course, there's the option for appeal by his counsels. But what do you make of the years given to Chairman Wontumi? Deterrent enough, lenient, or too much? Kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you, Professor Agyeman-Duah.
Yes. I was saying the sentence and the length of sentences, of course, is important, but for me, it's not critical. First of all, even if you are sentenced to 1 day, it becomes a an ex-convict. And that will bar him from certain positions in his party, I guess, and in the government, in any future government. That, for me, is critical. Of course, I'm not saying he should have been sentenced to 1 day or 1 year, but I'm making that point because it's very important. I think listening at length to my good friend Andy, clearly his lawyers may want to appeal, and I'm sure they're going to do that. First of all, it's clear that this case was handled by a court of competent jurisdiction. And if there are some technical problems with the procedures, if there were violations of the procedures and all that, his lawyers have every right to go, and I think they may do that. But I think we should also let our people be careful in terms of how they subject this very important case to politics. There's no need for demonstration. There's no need for any kinds of statements to connote that this was politically motivated. Look, the two parties have a responsibility to put this country above all other parochial interests. And I think one of the speakers have made that point. It's very important. Galamsey is a threat, not to our life, to our nation as a whole. So if the court is now coming in to adjudicate and make decisions on those who are found to have violated the law, they should let the law take its course. I guess I'm making this point so that we do not bring this under the same old stuff of seeing political or seeing politics in everything that the court does. I think the court has done its job. If anybody is not pleased with that, they should simply follow the rule, go back to court, file your appeal, and let the case proceed. It's very important that this case, which is setting a very strong signal to all others engaging in this galamsey, that they are being put on notice. And I think it's very important that when Mr. President Mahama admitted that his own people are involved, then the nation is also waiting to see his own people who he believes are involved being brought to court to face the law, so that there will be no any point where people might think this is just politics.
Right.
No, this is a national issue.
Okay, Professor Ajimandria, don't go yet. You mentioned earlier that he's likely to be disqualified from he's now vying, as we all are aware, for the national chairmanship position of the NPP. So we've gone through the party's constitution, and aspects of it says that a member shall be disqualified from holding any office or contesting any election in the party if he or she, A, has been convicted and or sentenced by a court of competent jurisdiction in respect of any offense involving high treason or an offense involving the security of the state, dishonesty, fraud, or moral turpidity, unless a period of 10 years has elapsed after the service of the sentence, or he or she has been granted a full pardon. So this is a very interesting development that we are witnessing, because as I mentioned earlier, Chairman Wontumi is also vying to be the national chairman of the NPP already. He is the Ashanti Regional Chairman of that party. We'll come back to our guests on Zoom, but in the meantime, though, let's now take you to Samraboy, the community where all this unfolded, and speak to some youth activists. Ebenezer Aka is a resident there and is joining me right now for more on this. Ebenezer, how have the youth of Samraboy been reacting to this ruling involving Chairman Wontumi? Unmute your microphone so we can hear you, Ebenezer.
Good afternoon to all the viewers. The youth of Samraboy and the entire people of Samraboy are very happy this afternoon after the court of law has sentenced Chairman Wontumi for 20 years imprisonment. But for that notwithstanding, we, the people of Samraboy, are not happy, because the illegalities of Chairman Wontumi has caused us a lot in Samraboy. just recently, the flooding that submerged the entire Samra community has led us to astray, and we don't know what to do now. So, first and foremost, we will thank the Court of Law for these steps so far.
Are there other individuals in Samra who believe that Chairman Wontumi being brought to book for alleged involvement in illegal mining is not a good thing?
No. From 2022, Wontumi started his illegal mining in Samra, and it has caused the entire people of Samra and Wasaland at large. And for us hearing this judgment by the court, we are all happy. We are all happy.
Take us to the area where these mining activities were happening. How damaged is this area by the activities of mining there?
Yes, Samra is located close to the Tano River, and after the Tano River, you can see the Tano Nimri Forest. That's a large forest reserve in western region, of which some artists company are operating in that forest. So Wontumi established its Akonta mining in Samra in the year 2020. He started by purchasing farmland for its mining. He further entered to the forest. He mined alongside the Tano River, of which the river banks were washed away. And during that time, those river banks that was washed away led to the recent flooding incident that happened in Samra. So a lot of damage has been caused by the Wontumi's Akonta mining activities in Samra.
Ebenezer, don't go yet. Thomas Addo is the assembly member for Aboifie Bekwai electoral area. He's also joining the conversation right now. Thomas, welcome to the program. As an assembly member for the area, what do you make of the new development involving Chairman Wontumi? Thomas's network is not that favorable for us, but we're trying to work the telephone lines to get him. Thomas Addo is the assembly member for Aboifie Bekwai electoral area. Ebenezer is still with me. Ebenezer Aka is a resident of Samra. Ebenezer, one of the pleas of the lawyers in court was that Chairman Wontumi is a breadwinner who employs a lot of people, and so the court should be a bit lenient, consider that, and be lenient with his judgment and reduce the judgment that was put on him, the 20-year jail term. Let's look at the number of people who work on that mining concession. How many are they? Can you quantify them?
Well, it's about 50 to 100 miners that operate at Wontumi's Akonta mining in Samra. Before 2023, it was almost about 50 excavators that operate for Wontumi in the Tano Nimri Forest. And during 2020, you could see Wontumi and his team, over 20 up to 30 personalities were working for Wontumi. So from 2020 to 2024, Wontumi was mining massively in Samra. So in conclusion, over 100 workers are on the field working for Wontumi during that time.
Aside from Akonta mining, though, we understand that there are some Chinese illegal miners also who are conducting massive illegal mining activities in the area, thereby blocking the river there from flowing freely. Can you confirm that to us?
Sure. After 2025, after Muhammad swearing in into Parliament, February and March, President Muhammad conducted a massive illegal mining operation at Samra, of which after Wontumi has been stopped from entering the Tanonumle Forest and the Tano River, we see a massive illegal mining ongoing. And as of speaking, illegal mining is ongoing in Samraboy, of which various peoples are engaged in illegal mining.
I see. And what have the members of the community done? Have you reported it to the police? Have you reported it to NIMOS? What are you doing about it as residents of Samraboy?
A lot of reports has been made by stakeholders, most especially Samate's company, the chiefs, the citizens. We have fought a lot in stopping these illegal mining activities. But the main reason is that who is ready to and put the blame on the government, but we, the citizens, too, are engaged in this illegality. So it's difficult for us to put a stop to these illegal mining activities.
That's quite interesting, isn't it? Because we understand that the entire community has almost been taken over by illegal mining activities, which actually led to massive flooding recently in the area. Is that the case?
Yes, true. After Wontumi was banished from Tanonumle Forest, you could see a lot of people are in that Tanonumle Forest and also in the Tano River mining. So I think the government must deploy military men in Samraboy to put a massive stop on the illegal mining activities that's going on here. Although Wontumi has been convicted for 20 years sentence imprisonment, but still the illegal mining activities are going on here. You could see the current flooding too was led by Wontumi, but we, the citizens of Samraboy, are part of all these things. So for us to put a massive stop to the illegal mining activities, it will be good for the government, the sitting government, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and all the stakeholders to get involved in the fight against illegal mining in Samraboy. After the flooding, all of us has been stranded. We don't know where to go. Over 100 or 200 houses have been broken down. All our properties have gone astray, and we don't know what to do now. We have lost our businesses and so many things. So I will plead on the government to come into our aid. After Wontumi has been convicted, still, there is a massive illegal mining going here.
So what do you see on your screen, viewers, is some shots from Samraboy not long ago. You see the destruction caused by the recent flooding that engulfs the area. And as Ebenezer Aka, a youth activist in the area, tells us, it appears that the entire area is almost being taken over by illegal mining activities, and that caused recent flooding in the area that engulfed large parts of the area. And Ebenezer, we spoke to authorities in the area when this issue happened, and they told us that even if you as a normal resident report this issue to the relevant authorities, people start to target you because they say that this is their daily bread now, that you want them to lose their daily bread. So if you report people engaged in illegal mining activities, you become an enemy of the area. Is that the case?
Yes. As of speaking, my life is in danger in Samraboy here because into illegal mining activities. And when you start to fight against illegal mining, they will turn against you. But let's us all remember ourselves that the entire Samraboy was affected by the recent flooding, including those galamseyers. And that is why, as a youth activist in Samraboy, I will urge everybody to put a stop to these illegal mining activities, because few people will get money like what Wontumi and
Hello, Ebenezer. Unfortunately, we appear to have lost connection to Ebenezer there. But let's try one more time to connect with Thomas Ando, who's the Assembly Member for Aboifie-Bekwai Electoral Area. Thomas, welcome to the program. How are residents of your electoral area responding to this news? Hello, Thomas. Do I have you? Right, so Thomas Addo is the assembly member for Aboifi-Bekwai electoral area, the enclave within which the Samra boy is situated. We're still trying to work or Zoom to connect with him, but I still have Andy Apiakubi with me. He is a lawyer. He was a one-time lawyer for Chairman Wontumi in this ongoing case until he recused himself days before the final judgment was pronounced by the judge today. Mr. Apiakubi, of course, I don't want to ask if. It is a matter of when will the lawyers for Chairman Wontumi appeal this case?
Well, the lawyers have a right to appeal even from today. The warning I sounded before we started the conversation is still valid. The warning was that let us not go outside the courtroom we are discussing this, which means a judgment.
Right.
Everybody else who have talked about this have done one propaganda or the other. And taking your case outside the court into different areas which lack relevance in respect of this case. That is why I asked you the question, preliminary question, whether or not the contributors are lawyers. People are even talking about mining, what has done to other areas. These are not relevant matters in respect of this judgment. And we need to situate our conversation on the elements of the charges, whether or not the court has been equitable in dispensing justice. It is not about social media comments, and also the character of parties or character of people who have been associated with this case outside the case. So you have to be careful that we talk about this judgment and the context of the judgment and the processes that resulted in this judgment and the evidence before the court without more. But so far, we are trying to discuss general issues about mining, which are not relevant to this subject matter for today. And I continue to bring your mind to this and have this realization that it is not about English language, it is about law. So many people are talking English. It will not help us to determine whether or not the judgment is judicial. It will not help us in determination of that. And people who have been to grind with others, this is not the time and the case and the platform. So it's important to let any contributor understand that we are dealing with Samra Boy case. Somebody was also talking about the Numeri or the Exim Bank. And these are separate matters from Samra Boy case. So let every contributor be aware of the facts in this case and the processes engaged in this case and the proceedings in this case and the conclusion of the case. And not digress into other areas. It will help the discussion. And with all due respect to you, if you are discussing general feelings of people within the society about illegal mining, I'm not sure that it can be situated within this case. But again, and I don't want to engage myself with debate on people who don't understand what it is that we have to talk about this case and about the charges and about the elements of the charges and about the prosecution, about the defense, and about the conclusion. People are talking about what they feel about, say, Chairman Wontumi. He has done money here and there. In this case, there is no mention of Chairman Wontumi in particular having engaged in any mining whatsoever in this case. So let's be mindful of that.
Right. You famously recused yourself from this case as the lead counsel for Chairman Wontumi. You offered explanation, but many are wondering if you saw this coming, being one of the reasons why you recused yourself. Did you see this judgment coming as to why you recused yourself?
I told you that when you asked me the question from the beginning, you said whether I was surprised. And I said that using the word surprise is an understatement. I am extremely disappointed with our criminal justice system. If this is justice from a court of law based on the evidence before the court. You remember, every time I make a statement, I refer to the evidence before the court. And I'm pleading to that evidence. That is why I categorically refer to the evidence before the court. And I say it without any fear of any contradiction whatsoever.
Okay.
That the judgment cannot be situated on the evidence. And that's we will have to resolve it. And that's my disappointment. Even as a lawyer, I feel ashamed. Knowing the evidence before this court and the conclusions that the court got to. It is really very simple. So I'm saying that anybody who wants to talk about this matter, first and foremost, pick the proceedings, read them, and then convince yourself. I've tried to explain the two charges and the elements that should prove the charges and what we did in the courtroom as participants, and how even the submission of those cases has delayed when the same court was complaining about delay in the trial. The court finds it comfortable to delay the transmission of the records for the appeal to be heard, and the court is comfortable doing that. And don't forget that this is a system that we are creating that will survive all of us, and therefore we are all vulnerable to this type of system of prosecution. And I make reference to Otumfo's statement. So whoever has an upper hand today and using the power of today to do injustice to anybody in Ghana today should be careful that tomorrow he may not wield the same power. And the same system that is being created now to try and attack citizens of the country will be the same system that will be imposed in prosecuting them. For nothing at all, I am not vengeful as a person, but in respect of criminal justice and matters of human rights, if you do it against somebody, you should also be warned that it will also happen in your case. So I want to raise my case now and then just advise you that the propaganda doesn't help.
Right.
Tomorrow also somebody will come and we will do propaganda. We will be facilitating commission of crime and injustice. This is not fair. So I'm not talking about generally Chairman Wontumi as a person. No. I'm talking about the proceedings in court and the evidence before the court and the charges preferred against him. I am saying that it is not fair. The conclusion is not fair.
Right. Andy Apiakubi, grateful for your time this afternoon. He's a former lawyer for Chairman Wontumi. Let's speak to Thomas Addo now. He's the assembly member for Aboifie Bakwai electoral area. Thomas, I believe you can hear me now.
Yes, please.
Oh, thank goodness. How are people reacting to the judgment by the court sentencing Chairman Wontumi to 20 years in prison?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you speak, there are some mixed reactions. Now, some people are happy, others are not happy. People are happy because they know the destruction that has caused, the community, and also people are also happy because, as we speak, there are some people still mining within the forest. So there's some mixed reaction from the community. And as you speak, like I said, some people are happy and some people are not happy. So this is what I can say from my end.
And personally, what do you make of it?
Well, you see, for me, I know that Galamsey, it's a total menace because for me, I'm a district manager. I buy cocoa. So for now, Summer Boy, we are losing most of our cocoa because of the activities of Galamsey. So for me, if this is going to serve as a deterrent to others, I think that those who are also doing the mining should also stop. Because as you speak, people are still mining. So if Chairman Wontumi has been sentenced, I tell you what about those who are also still mining? You see, so for me, if he's being centers. I think that those who are also doing the mining should also stop, because it's a total destruction to our people. As we speak now, some boy here, when we talk of cocoa, this is where we can get more of cocoa from, for the country. But as we speak, because of the activities of Galamsey, we are losing our cocoa. And if we don't take care, in the next 5 years, Ghana, we are going to lose, the second spot when you talk of the production, nationwide.
We understand that almost the entire township of Samraboy has been turned to Galamsey mining ground. Why are we witnessing rampant Galamsey activities in Samraboy?
Well, for me, as an assembly member, I don't know what to do, because the people have no work to do. And I see that is the only way they can also get something, to survive. Because as you speak, there's no, law or rule preventing people from mining. I think if the government has come out to say that nobody should go into the forest to mine, or nobody should mine along the riverside, or even within the rivers, I think that they will stop. But here is the case that there is no communique, there is no information coming. So people also want to get some food to feed their family. So I think that the only source of getting something to feed their family is the Galamsey. Like I said, we are losing the cocoa because, formerly, Samraboy, when we talk of cocoa, is Samraboy. When we talk of Samraboy, it's cocoa. But this time, we are losing all the cocoa because of the activities of Galamsey. So for me, as an assemblyman, I have no powers. I have no powers to prevent people from mining. I have no powers to prevent people from going into the forest.
With the high probability that a lot of people are mining illegally in Samraboy, I'm curious to know, are you involved in Galamsey yourself?
Like I don't know, I'm a district manager. I buy cocoa on behalf of cocoa merchant and then federated commodity. I don't even know anything about mining. Everybody in Samraboy can attest to it that the Capito, that's the assemblyman, has never, gone to the forest or, done any Galamsey activity within the community. For me, I have no idea about that. Even a young child can say that, no, assemblyman is not, involving in Galamsey. For me, I buy cocoa. That is why I am more concerned about Galamsey, because the more the Galamsey activities go on here, we are losing our cocoa. And like I said, the cocoa, we can get it every year, we can harvest the cocoa and feed our family. But when we continue to do Galamsey, we are causing destruction to the land. And we cannot farm again. We cannot, plant the cocoa again. So for me, I am one of those who is against, activity of illegal mining.
Okay.
I don't like it at all because of the job I do. I buy cocoa. We are losing our cocoa, and it is very painful that the work I do, the work is going down as you speak. For me, now we cannot get most of the cocoa here. We have to go to, Elembele area before you can get cocoa. Some of what here, because of the activity of Galamsey, more lands have been lost to the activity of Galamsey.
Okay. Thomas Ander, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. He's the Assembly member for Aboifie Bekwai electoral area. Well, I still have Professor Bafo Ajimandria on the line. He's a governance expert. Erastus Asaredonko is also an environmental journalist. We'll come back to them shortly. But in the meantime, let's now head to Kumasi for reactions to the verdict against Chairman Wontumi.
A lot of party supporters all around, and this is where a lot of them heard the news about Chairman Wontumi's sentencing of 20 years for illegal mining. And a lot of the people that you see here are not happy. A lot of them are not excited. They are down. The spirits are down, and I understand that it's affecting the event that is being held here. That is the vetting process itself. I would want to engage some of the party faithfuls, especially the leadership of the NPP in the Ashanti region, to gauge their mood on the process or the court, on what happened in court today. There's an aspiring communications officer here, which I would want to speak to him. Doc, hello. Welcome to Joy News.
Thank you very much.
I can see you came here excited for your vetting, but it seems what just happened in court today has got a lot of party people talking about the process, and others are not happy with how things turn out. What is your impression about what has happened the past few days?
Within the party, it's picking up of nomination form, particularly me, contesting to become the first elected communications officer for Ashanti region. We've returned the nomination form. Today we are here for vetting. I am confident that it will end well. I was not aware that there's going to be judgment on Wontumi's case, particularly that one relating to mining. So the news has come as a shock to me. It's a moment of mixed feeling because he is still the Ashanti Regional Chairman for New Patriotic Party. Yes. He has not resigned. And that, he is the leader of the party within the region, even within the context of the new reforms. So it's a mixed feeling. The second thing is that it's a shock. I hear 20 years jail term. And that's a lot for a young man who just turned 50 years. I am not a lawyer and not a legal person, so it's difficult for me to set out any legal arguments. But I will want to think that there is opportunity for an appeal, and that appeal will be done expeditiously. I don't know whether he will have to be in prison whilst the appeal is pending, or there could be an intervention where the appeal will be heard immediately for certain other outcomes. He is my regional chairman, and over the time that he has been the regional chairman, me particularly, he has given me a lot of opportunity to serve the party. And it's the reason why I'm saying it's deep mixed feeling. I'm saddened by the outcome of the court case against Chairman Wontumi, and I'm praying that the legal brains, the legal luminaries of the party and beyond will sit immediately and consider the next option. Until then, my feeling this morning or this afternoon is one of a mixed feeling. Mixed feeling because I'm happy I've gone through the process, and that very soon I will be declared properly qualified to contest, and I'm very optimistic about that. And the mixed feeling, the negative part is the news that Chairman Wontumi has been convicted.
So now the expectation is that there will be a review process or a process to go on an appeal, so that if possible, Wontumi could be granted freedom or reduce his sentence for him.
We are aware that Agrada went to jail not long ago. While she was in jail, there was an appeal, and that she has come home. And there are instances of that. And that's what, now that verdict has come, that is the option that I am expecting to happen, so that it will not be jail for 20 years for Chairman Wontumi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chebrobe. So that was Ishak Chebrobe, and he's aspiring to be communications officer for the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region. Behind me is Chairman Akins, and he is the NPP chairman for Bosomtwe constituency. He is the chairman for the home constituency of Chairman Wontumi, and he is the man who took over from Chairman Wontumi after he left the position of constituency chairmanship at the Bosomtwe constituency. Chairman Akins, welcome to join us. I can see, since I got here, grief written all over your face. How do you feel?
I feel very, very bad, honestly. I'm not anticipating this news, at least this afternoon. So I'm not all that well. Let me just put it in a short, because I'm actually hit with this sentence that I'm hearing, because I was at the waiting room. I just came up and I was met with this story, so I'm not comfortable at all.
People may not know the relationship between yourself and Chairman Wontumi. For me, I know you both, and I know that you took over from Chairman Wontumi as chairman of Ejoso constituency, Bosomtwe constituency, and since then there have been some closeness or good relationship between the two of you. Tell us, how was the relationship like?
As you rightly said, he's a very good friend of mine, and even a brother. Let me put it in there. So I met Wontumi for some, let's say, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and then outside even political issues. When we've worked together, we've been very close until we all decided to get into serious political, business. So we planned, and he entered as the Bosomtwe chairman, whilst I was the constituency vice chairman. So we play along with this, our political stuff, until he decided to come to contest at the region. So we planned everything, and he was successfully at the region. For the first time, we won the election in 2016. Yes. I became the substantive at where he left. So we've been so close that when you see Chairman Wontumi, then of course you see Chairman Akins. So as you rightly said, we've been close, and I did never for once anticipate what I'm hearing now. That is why I'm a little bit uncomfortable to at least speak to the media. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Now, as I said, Chairman Akins happens to be the Bosomtwe NPP chairman in the Ashanti region, and he was a close ally to Chairman Wontumi, or he is a close ally to Chairman Wontumi, and you can see he's down. He's not happy with what has happened so far, and he thinks that there is need for something to be done about the conviction so far. Nana Nsenche is here with me, and he is a leading member of the NPP in the Ashanti region. He was once a member of the regional executives in the Ashanti region, and you exactly, and you work closely with Chairman Wontumi. How do you feel about this news?
Oh, it's a very bad news anyway. You can see everybody here, those who are yet to go for vetting, and we that we have done with our vetting, we are not all happy. You know what? We are not all that happy. And even the 20 years sentence is too much. So I think I'm pleading with President John Mahama that he should temper mercies with the justice, and then he do something about it.
You think this is going to affect the rebuilding of the NPP in the Ashanti region and the party and the national as whole?
No, this is rather going to ginger us, because we need to get him out. So we have to come at all costs. So if the delegate give me the mandate as a regional first vice chairman again, I'm going to make sure I work very tirelessly, as I did to Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, so that when we come to power, we can give him presidential pardon.
But don't you think that it's about time that the party or Chairman Wontumi's lawyer considers, appealing the judgment?
No. For that one is on course. Mm-hmm. Yes, every judgment is appealable, so they have to. but they can do their part and we can also do our part. So they are going to, if they have the opportunity to appeal for the judgment, that is so good. But we are going to do our part as our party. Do you think that if NPP was in power or is in power, could this happen to Chairman Wontumi? No, it's not going to happen to Wontumi. So this is the reason why that we have to work very hard and harder for NPP to come to 2029, then we can get him out.
That's Nana Kwabena Senche, and he happens to be the first vice chair for the NPP in the Ashanti region. And according to him, there is need for them to work together as a party, get back power, and if possible, through that, they get Chairman Wontumi out with a presidential pardon.
So that was the mood at the NPP Ashanti Regional Headquarters, where Chairman Wontumi is chairman. Back here in Accra, convener of the coalition against Galamsey, Ken Ashigbe, has also been reacting to the ruling.
You know, there's several politically exposed persons who are involved in Galamsey. There are DCs, MCs demonstrating either complicity or incompetence involved in Galamsey. I was in New Ebrim sometime this month. There was a chief who said, you know, openly in the forum that about 80% of chiefs are involved in Galamsey. What is happening to all of these chiefs? There are several of them that we can name, that some of them that have come into the public space. We've had Otumfuo himself made statements like that. We had the former speaker, then in the past government, in parliament, on the floor of parliament, talk about the fact that there were some parliamentarians who were either, you know, facilitating it, involved in it, and all of that. So this is just the beginning. If we really are going to deal with Galamsey decisively, then we need to make sure that a lot of big men who are marauding and parading the corridors of power, you know, flaunting their riches, are, you know, they are all candidates to also be, you know, sentenced. And well, on the issue of the 20 years in jail, I would have wished that the judge would have given the maximum sentence of 25 years, and also added the maximum fine. You know, that is because if you look at the law, you know, it talks about either the fine or the custodial sentence or both. The reason why we need to be drastic in the sentencing of kingpins who are involved in Galamsey is that what they do is mass murder. If anybody had taken a gun and had shot anybody, we'll be asking for the maximum sentence. These people who are involved in this, the flood that happened in Samaraboy, the recent flood, part of it is because of the issues of Galamsey. People are dying from kidney diseases, renal diseases are happening, children are being deformed. You know, pregnant women, you know, are dying from stillbirth and all of that. And this is what these people do. They're economic saboteurs. The challenge they are imposing upon us in terms of our agricultural product, our cocoa and all of that have heavy metals in them and all of that.
We'll shortly take you to the NPP headquarters, where the party is about to address the press concerning the current issue involving Chairman Wontumi's sentencing to 20 years in prison. But in the meantime, though, let's bring you a documentary by Erastus Asare-Donko concerning the illegal mining activities going on in Samaraboy.
Bird's eye view of the river revealed possible culprits in the pollution of this national resource. This mining site, captured by our drone, belongs to Akunta Mining Limited, owned by Bernard Ntwibosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, the current Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP. Two of their mining operation sites sitting at the edges of the river, with some of their mining leaks and residues feeding directly into the Tano River. The footage of mining along the Tano River from a layman's view shows a clear violation of government's buffer zone policy, which demands the demarcation of a 50-meter buffer zone away from a water body like the Tano. Existing buffer zone bylaws and specifications spelled out by the Forestry Services Division indicates no logging within 50 meters of major streams and 25 meters along smaller streams. That of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources states that a minimum of 100 meters of watermark should be declared as protected areas. But none of the mining sites discovered by our team along the Tano River respect these laws. Some indigents of Samreboy told Love News many of these sites belong to Chairman Wontumi's Akonta Mining Limited. But officials of the company will not speak to our news team about the effects of the operations on environment visible from above. Two security men wielding pump action guns approached our team, and after establishing our identity and registering their protest over our drone activities, they left.
If you are mining a water body, you are undertaking an illegal activity.
The Minerals Commission describes such mining activities polluting water bodies or destroying forests as an illegality. Barbara Otinjesi is board chair.
Nobody provides a license for you to mine in a water body. It doesn't happen in Ghana. So if you are mining in the water body, it's illegal. That is why now with Operation Halt, we are concentrating on the water bodies and our forests, because we don't give people licenses to mine in our water bodies and our forests unless the Forestry Commission has undertaken certain investigations and has given the approval for the person to go and mine in the forest area.
But we soon realized that the environmental effects of Akonta Mining's operations was to be the least of our concern. We followed the Tano River to 4 key pollution points. Here, mining was being done directly on the riverbed, with mining residue leading in and out of the Tano River. Deep within the forest, we get to Atala, a small community close to the river. Here, the blueprints of irresponsible mining are visible. The source of the pollution is seen in the huge excavation and redirection of the river. There are clear signs of attempts to use the river as a washing base for mining.
See how the river is being polluted.
The assembly member for the Mumuni electoral area, Ofosu Asare Samuel, was our guide.
We the people around here, mostly Atara, is worrying us the most. And recently, because there was an operation, these Chinese people evacuate all their machines and then leave here. Meanwhile, the government said these Galamsey issues and all those things, he's stopping them. But you know, some remote areas like this, they used to come and hide here. Before you see that these Chinese people are here, they have destroyed the whole place.
At Ohiampenika village, we discover the third pollution point of the Tano River. We go through this makeshift mining village just 200 meters to the banks of the river. What we find is a huge devastation of forest cover, destruction to the water sources joining the tunnel, and a large mining compound sitting in the water source. Huge pits left in a hurry with pumping and washing equipment leading out of them. Mining residues leading directly into the Tano River.
This is the Tano River, and I don't need to tell you. The pictures will give you a description of dirty, muddy river. A river that once used to be very clear and full of fishes. Now you can see the expanse, the pits, the degradation done by the illegal miners here. Now this ecosystem has been disturbed so much.
The result, a highly polluted river. The sound of our vehicle set the miners running.
You can hear them in the distance shouting and running. You can see their machines, their equipment over there. You see the pits they dug here. And so you can see the pollution here. And they are sitting directly inside the river.
Special advisor to the lands minister Ben Ayi describes scenes like these as irresponsible mining.
Illegal, irresponsible mining. That's what it is. Nothing more than that. Any mining, like he showed, is simply irresponsible and not supported by any law.
The pollution of the river Tano comes from different areas along the water terrain, mainly stemming from irresponsible mining. The illegal activities on the Tano River, we learned, is not happening on the blind side of authorities. We were told that a military contingent was sent to the area 2 weeks before our team visited the area. But the miners were given the opportunity to salvage their equipment.
Let's now head to the NPP's national headquarters here in Accra, where my colleague Stephen Mensah is currently stationed. I did indicate earlier that they are holding an emergency press conference on the issue involving its Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Ntwibuesi, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. Stephen, has that press conference begun?
Well, Kenneth, the press conference is yet to start. We've been here for the past 1 hour and some 15 minutes. We've got indications from some of the executives that the press conference will be starting any moment from now. However, it's yet to start. Although we've seen some setup ongoing with the press conference, we've seen some of the national executives and some members of parliament all being here. We understand that they're currently in a meeting, and after that meeting, the press conference is yet to will be started.
That's quite interesting. So who and who do you see? You mentioned that there are some MPs as well. Who have you seen so far?
Yeah. So far, I've seen the Member of Parliament for Wiyad Bawe, Jerry Ahmed over here. I've also seen some members of the National Executive Committee for the NPP. I've seen Haruna Mohammed and some other members all currently present. In fact, Haruna Mohammed, came to tell us that the press conference will be starting any moment from now. And he told us that before that, some of the members had been doing the setup and that they were satisfied with the setup and that the press conference will be started.
Have they given any reason as to why it didn't start at its 3 p.m. advertised time?
Currently, we've had no communication as to why it's not started. We've already although seen some members, supporters of the NPP, amassed outside and in the compound of the headquarters of the political party. But so far, we've not had any communication whatsoever as to why the press conference has not started. The scheduled time, that was 3 p.m.
We're getting confirmation that the party's flag bearer, Mahmoud Bawumia, is part of that crucial meeting. Are you aware of anything like that?
So far, as I mentioned earlier, we've not got any confirmation as to what will be done and who will be present. But what we know so far will be that Haruna Mohammed has told us that the top executives of the party are currently in a crunch meeting for the press conference that will be starting in a moment from now. So what we know so far, and what we've seen and what we are seeing so far, I'm getting the sense that it's going to be a very big and important information as regarding Chairman Wontumi's case, because so far we've seen some members of parliament and some top national executives of the party here.
Usually in events like this, you see party supporters troop through the headquarters, in their paraphernalias and all that. Do you see anything like that today?
Yes. Kenneth, it's interesting because right outside, you see a number of these paraphernalia on sale. We've also seen some of these supporters outside and some of them in the party colors. We've also seen some of them actually on the compound in the party colors. And so, interestingly, for most of the people we've got so far and spoken to, they are in some awe of what's happening so far. But then, as you rightly mentioned, they are in a paraphernalia and they are in stern support of what the party will be saying. From what we've gathered so far.
Stephen Mensah there, our man on the ground at the NPP's headquarters. Whatever the fallout from that press conference, we'll be the first to let you know. You're still watching ThePulse here on Joy News. We return from the break with more. Don't go anywhere.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Kiddie rice contains 12 vitamins?
Yes, 12 essential vitamins that grow in body.
Distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP Print Center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults, this price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
My name is John Dalton, MP for Swami constituency. Fortunately, my democracy is not for sale. I hope yours is also not for sale.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey. Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, strong, tough.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better. Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time. Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
My name is Mohammed Adam Ramadan. I represent the good people of Adenta constituency here in Parliament, and I want to pledge that my democracy is not for sale.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP Print Center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
From region to region, from citizen to citizen, one conversation, one purpose, protecting Ghana's democracy. The conversation continues from the northern region, where citizens and leaders came together to confront the growing influence of money in politics. The train now makes its next stop at the Volta regional capital of Ho, because protecting our democracy is a shared responsibility. Join the Joy News Impact Makers Foundation for another exciting edition of Democracy is Not for Sale, a regional citizen politician dialogue bringing together citizens, political leaders, governance think tanks, civil society and the media to examine the impact of illicit political financing and explore reforms that will strengthen Ghana's democracy. Expect our team of researchers between the 27th and the 30th of July in Ho as they solicit your views for a survey ahead of the forum. The forum is on Friday, the 31st of July at the Freedom Hotel at Ho at 4 p.m. It will be live on Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM, myjoyonline.com, and all Joy News social media platforms. Democracy is not for sale. Your vote is your voice.
So I should type in my Momo pen.
Yes.
So you're not scamming me.
No.
MTN will not call you to request for what? Your PIN.
The fraud cases are ticking up. They're trending upwards.
I was very comfortable thinking that I was speaking to a rep from DSTV. And if it's happened to me, it can happen to anybody. Guys, these guys are not playing.
So they took the 91 cedis, wiped everything from my account, and also took MTN extra balance.
It looks like they are hypnotized, or I don't know what they tell them.
Fraudsters using psychological manipulation to manipulate and to get information from you, pretending to be who they are not.
Fraudsters steal from one bank and walk into another and do the same thing. Same credentials, same Ghana card. They do it again and again. There's nothing stopping them.
We have this hypothesis we need to test. What is the relationship between digital payments and the economy? And that the survival of our economy depends on the strength of digital payments and its safety.
The digital economy, based on digital apps, technologies, is expected to grow faster than the traditional economy. Trust is a currency. The moment we lose that trust, the trajectory that we are on towards a cashless economy is at risk.
Digital Economy Forum, the trust crisis, why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy. Brought to you in partnership with Haptel. It's happening on Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. live on Joy News, Joy FM, and across our social media platforms. Well, that's it for the pulse this evening. And as I've mentioned throughout the program, we will be crossing over live to the NPP's headquarters as soon as they begin that press conference concerning the sentencing of its Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Ntwibuesi, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, to 20 years in prison. When it starts, we'll definitely take you live to that particular event. But in the meantime, though, it's a goodbye from me, from our studios here at Kokomlemle. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. Have a good evening.